All right, so today we are diving deep into numerology, specifically the energy of the number 8.
Sounds good.
You've brought us a whole stack of articles on this,
Yeah.
so it seems like you're ready to kind of go beyond the basics here.
Yeah, definitely.
You really want to know what this number means for, like, you as a person,
Absolutely.
your life,
Yeah.
your destiny.
What's so cool about the number 8 is that it's not just this like abstract concept,
Mhm.
It has like incredible depth,
Okay.
representing this constant kind of pull between ambition,
Yeah.
achievement in the material world,
Mm-hmm.
but also this yearning for spiritual balance.
Okay, I am intrigued already.
Yeah.
It's like this number is trying to tell us, like, you can have it all,
Right.
but it's going to take some work.
Right.
And speaking of work, one article mentioned that, like, 8s are practically born leaders. Is that
Yes.
true?
That's definitely a theme that comes up again and again in numerology.
Okay.
And, when you think about the shape of the number 8 itself,
Yeah.
it's like this continuous loop
Right.
symbolizing infinity balance
Yeah.
and a kind of unceasing power.
Okay.
Those are all qualities that we associate with strong leaders.
I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
The visual representation actually kind of embodies
Right.
the deeper meaning.
Exactly.
But it's not just about being in charge, is it?
Right.
What other strengths are we talking about here?
Well, these sources highlight some pretty impressive traits.
Okay.
Natural authority and like a commanding presence definitely stand out.
Mm-hmm.
But 8s are also described as incredibly strategic
Okay.
and decisive.
Mm.
They often have this natural business acumen,
Okay.
this ability to not only spot opportunities, but to like go after them
Mm-hmm.
with incredible resilience.
So if you're looking for someone to lead your company,
Right.
or maybe even a country, find yourself an Atney.
You might be onto something there.
Uh-huh.
And think about some of the famous 8s throughout history.
Okay.
Nelson Mandela, for example.
Oh, wow.
Talk about leadership perseverance,
Yeah.
a deep-seated sense of justice.
It's funny you mentioned Mandela because one article pointed to his example when talking about how 8s can sometimes get so caught up
Right.
in their ambitions.
Yeah.
Is that a common pitfall?
It's definitely something to be mindful of.
Okay.
That same drive
Yeah.
that makes 8s so successful can also lead to burnout if they're not careful.
Oh, right.
It's like that classic saying,
Right.
too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
They might pour every ounce of energy into their work,
Yeah.
neglecting their personal lives,
Mm-hmm.
relationships,
Mm-hmm.
even their own well-being.
Okay. Now that sounds a little too familiar.
Uh-huh.
I can definitely see myself falling into that trap.
Right.
It's almost like they become married to their ambition.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that need for control, while a strength in many areas,
Uh-huh.
can create challenges in their personal lives.
Yeah, okay.
It can lead to power struggles or difficulties forming
Mm-hmm.
deep, meaningful connections.
Okay.
They might have a hard time relinquishing control
Yeah.
or allowing others to truly support them.
So it's all about finding that balance then, like channeling those incredible strengths
Right.
while also being mindful of the potential pitfalls.
Absolutely.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, right?
Huh.
Yeah. Balance is definitely key.
Yeah.
It's about harnessing that incredible power of the 8
Right.
without letting it consume you.
Right.
But, let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about where these strengths really shine.
Okay.
We've got all these articles about careers.
Yeah.
And I got to say,
Yeah.
the paths for 8s
Mm-hmm.
sound anything but ordinary.
Okay, so tell me more about it.
Yeah.
I was skimming through some of these,
Right.
and it's not your typical 9 to 5 list.
Right.
We're talking high stakes, high reward kind of stuff.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
What's interesting is how many sources emphasize
Mm-hmm.
leadership strategy
Yeah.
and having a knack for finances.
Okay.
We're talking fields like business, finance, law, politics.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere those natural 8 traits
Right.
can really flourish.
So we're picturing CEOs,
Mhm.
judges, maybe even a president or two in the making.
Yeah.
Are we thinking big enough yet?
I think we're getting there.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But what surprised me is that it's not limited to just
Mm-hmm.
the corporate or political ladders.
Okay.
Some sources even pointed to unconventional 8 paths.
Okay. Like what?
Think like mining oil textiles.
Oh, wow.
Anything where resource management
Right.
and a bit of calculated risk-taking are key.
It's like they have this built-in radar
Right.
for opportunity,
Exactly.
even in places that other people might kind of overlook.
Yeah.
Okay. But, we got to talk about love, right? Right.
All this ambition and drive.
Yeah.
How does that play out in relationship?
Right. Because everyone wants to find love.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because love for an 8 is rarely a walk in the park.
Okay.
That same intensity they bring to their careers
Yeah.
can sometimes create a bit of friction
Right.
in their personal lives.
Okay.
Several sources actually mentioned potential conflicts within the family dynamic.
Okay, what kind of conflicts are we talking about?
Well, some numerologists suggest that 8s
Mhm.
might bump heads with their siblings
Okay.
or even their fathers,
Interesting.
particularly in their younger years.
Okay.
It's almost like this inherent need to
Yeah.
forge their own path.
Even if it means challenging the established order.
It's that independent streak coming through.
Exactly.
They're not afraid to question authority,
Right.
even within their own families.
Yeah.
But what about romantic relationships?
Right.
What's the recipe for making it work with an 8?
Well,
Yeah.
based on these sources, it seems 8s need a partner who not only understands their ambition,
Right.
but celebrates it.
Okay.
Someone who's not intimidated by their drive,
Yeah.
but can actually complement their strength.
So basically, don't try to like dim their light,
Right.
but maybe have a fire extinguisher handy,
Ah, right.
just in case things get too heated.
Exactly.
But seriously, who are these compatible numbers
Yeah.
who can handle the intensity of an 8?
Well,
Yeah.
according to one intriguing study, 8s are often drawn to partners
Okay.
who are also 8s, 1s, or 4s.
Okay.
It's like they're subconsciously seeking someone
Mm-hmm.
who can either match their energy
Right.
or provide a grounding presence.
All right, so if your birthday falls on the 1st, 4th, or 8th,
Right.
you might be the yin to an 8's yang.
Exactly.
But even with like the perfect numerological compatibility,
Yeah.
relationships take work, right?
Absolutely.
It's not all about the numbers.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Open communication is essential, as is mutual respect,
Yeah.
and a willingness to create that all-important balance
Yeah.
between work and personal life.
Right.
It's a two-way street after all.
Exactly. You can't just like bulldoze your way through a relationship with ambition alone.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, everybody loves a little numerology fun.
Of course.
I'm dying to know about like the lucky charms, the power colors,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that good stuff.
Yeah.
Do 8s have a lucky gemstone?
They do.
Okay.
When it comes to colors,
Mm-hmm.
yellow, dark, green, and blue
Okay.
are considered particularly auspicious
Interesting.
for those influenced by the number 8.
Those colors actually feel very grounded and calming. It's almost like they're meant to balance out all that fiery 8 energy, would you say? Yeah, like the universe is saying, hey, here's like a dose of ambition.
Right.
But don't forget to like chill out every now and then.
Exactly.
But speaking of lucky charms,
Yeah.
you mentioned a gemstone earlier,
Oh.
something called an Indra Neelam. What's the
Yes.
deal with that?
Ah, yes. That's a great one.
Okay.
The Indra Neelam, also known as the blue sapphire,
Okay.
is considered especially powerful for 8s.
Mm-hmm.
It's believed to enhance intuition,
Okay.
promote wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and even bring about a sense of peace and clarity.
Okay, so maybe not your typical lucky rabbit's foot,
Right.
but definitely something that resonates with the deeper themes that we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
And I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Blue for calmness,
Mm-hmm.
yellow for optimism.
Right.
It's all about finding that equilibrium.
Exactly. And when it comes to like gemstones and numerology,
Yeah,
it's not about superstition.
right.
It's about understanding the subtle energies that surround us
Right.
and how we can kind of harness them
Mm-hmm.
for positive growth.
Okay.
But we should also touch on the lucky and unlucky dates
Yes.
associated with the number 8.
Okay, give us the inside scoop.
Okay.
I'm ready to mark my calendar.
Well, I won't list them all here,
Okay.
but I will say that these dates are often calculated
Yeah.
using a system called chironumerology.
Okay.
It's a bit more complex,
Right.
but essentially it assigns numerical values
Mm-hmm.
to each letter of the alphabet
Oh.
and uses those to determine
Yeah.
auspicious and challenging periods.
Okay, so we're talking about a whole other level
Yeah.
of numerological analysis here.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to have to look into that.
Yeah.
But even with lucky charms and auspicious dates,
Yeah.
it seems like the true power of numerology lies in like understanding yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about using these insights to make conscious choices.
100%.
So for all of our listeners out there
Yeah.
who resonate with the energy of the number 8, what's the biggest takeaway here?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to remember
Yeah.
you have this incredible potential within you.
Mhm.
The number 8 carries this energy of ambition,
Yeah.
leadership, and material success.
Right.
But it also reminds you to seek balance.
Yeah.
Nurture your relationships and connect with your spiritual side.
Okay.
It's about finding harmony
Yeah.
between your head and your heart, your drive and your well-being.
And remember, you get to write your own story.
That's right.
Numerology can be a guide, a roadmap,
like a framework.
but ultimately it's our choices,
Right.
and our actions that determine the course of our lives.
Absolutely.
So embrace the power of the number 8.
Yes.
Use it wisely and create a life that's both fulfilling and meaningful.
Well said.
Well, to all of our listeners out there,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the energy of the number 8.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.
See you then.